It was an important milestone ahead of Decision 2022, the one and only face-off between incumbent Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul and her Republican challenger, Congressman Lee Zeldin. Good evening, I'm Mary Alice Demler.
And hello again, I'm Scott Levin. This race has certainly tightened significantly in the last few weeks, putting even more pressure on both of the candidates. 2 Inside's Kelly Dudzik brings us some analysis of some of the biggest topics that were covered in last night's debate. Kelly?
Hi, Scott and Mary Alice. They covered a wide range of topics from crime and bail reform to the economy, abortion rights, and gun control. Today, we're taking a closer look at crime and what's being proposed by both candidates.
There is no tough on crime strategy that does not include being tough on illegal guns. And you did not hear that last night from my opponent.
After there were a number of questions asked by the moderators specific to crime, I pointed out that we're almost through this entire crime conversation, and still, Kathy Hochul was not talking about locking up the criminals.
Democrat Kathy Hochul and Republican Lee Zeldin talking with reporters the day after their first and only debate before next month's election. Zeldin calling for a state of emergency concerning crime.
On day one, right after I'm sworn into office, I will declare a crime emergency here in the state of New York, and I will suspend Castle's bail and other pro-criminal laws to force the state legislature just to come to the table.
Hochul was asked what new things she can accomplish when it comes to dealing with crime.
We say you feel safer with the presence of more police officers, then I'll help you. You would not have heard this before in the past, where the state of New York is deploying our state workers to help in the cities and also in our subways. We're doing this in Rochester and Syracuse as well.
I talked with UB Associate Professor of Political Science Jacob Neiheisel about whether what Zeldin is proposing is possible.
I have a very realist view on power in that in a separated system, institutions are able to do precisely what they want to the point that somebody stops them. And I think that an executive in New York facing a legislature of the other party is going to have a very, very short leash.
Neiheisel says people who watch debates tend to already have their minds made up and doesn't think this one would have impacted many votes, but
it is true that at the margin, some independents may be swayed at these things. But the thing that really tends to do the most movement, if any at all, is the narrative that gets crafted after the fact. So I'm not saying debates don't matter or can't matter, but most debates don't matter.
Now, Zeldin also criticized Hochul on the Bills Stadium deal, saying he would renegotiate it if he wins. And the professor gave an answer similar to the one he gave about the state of emergency and said with it being so far into the stadium deal process, he isn't surprised Zeldin and Hochul are on opposite sides about that. Kelly Dudzik, Channel 2 News.